I want to do an anime video, but I don't quite know what to do. Like, I can review that new, like, Jesus anime where he gets, like, crucified, but I don't know. I've seen a couple other people do that. I could finally review Castlevania, like the new Castlevania, but feels like something for the second channel. I don't know, maybe I'll do some more seasonal preview stuff. You know, so I can talk about free rent. People like free rent. Gosar. Paul Gosar is the key. See, a couple years ago, there was a GOP representative named Paul Gosar. And see, he made a little anime meme video with Attack on Titan, and him and a couple other Republicans killing Joe Biden as the Colossal Titan and AOC. See, you know what I'm saying? You laughed at that video. You put a haha on that video on Facebook. And see, your liberal friends got mad at you. They shunned you because you thought it was funny. They said you were a weird fascist. You're nowhere near a fascist. You loved Sex in the City. And no conservative could ever watch Sex in the City. And see, here's the thing. What you need to do is you need to get back at those people, even though it was a couple of years ago. What you need to do is you need to do an anime recommendations video where you're recommending anime to Paul Gosar, because he asked for it like 2 years ago on Twitter. Do that. Yeah. See, this way he can have more anime that he can make memes out of. And this way, it'll get back at those liberal friends. It'll get back at them. Gosar. Or, I mean, you did say you wanted to do anime recommendations, and this would be a perfect way to do that without actually doing that and kind of making it interesting, put a little spin on it. You know, right? Of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from him, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button. Do all the good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from him, as well as follow him on twitter.com/RSMario128. Like his video tweet, share his video tweet, and he'll shout you out at this portion of the video. I got an idea. Alright, look. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out, okay? Yes, I know I just recommended JoJo's to a GOP representative, right? Hear me out, though. Alright, I know you're right-wing. I know that, you know, you're not really into, you know, the gays. But, you know, and JoJo is kind of... At times. But hear me out though, you know what I'm saying? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is actually a pretty interesting story when you get down to it. Alright, and it spans multiple generations. And to be honest, it's not something that's like uber deep, you know, at times. And it's something that you can actually kind of turn your brain off and watch. I know it might be crazy, but I think this would prepare you for more of the insanity that you would find in typical anime, which JoJo is not.
Leave them alone.
Who are you?
Go back the way you came. Or die.
Be Samurai X. So I say Samurai X and not Rurouni Kenshin because Samurai X is different than Rurouni Kenshin. Alright, it's the same character, you know what I'm saying? But it's a completely different tone. Rurouni Kenshin is more of your happy-go-lucky, like, you know, kind of episodic, kind of shonen anime for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So it has a completely different tone than Samurai X. Samurai X is pretty much a seinen anime. Alright, it is definitely not a shonen. You know what I'm saying? It has a much darker, more serious tone that I think an older anime audience might like. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, especially if he's been a fan of old school samurai movies or old school karate movies, I think he would like Samurai X. You know what I'm saying? And then some of the more, like, you know, more realistic, type of storytelling in that show will be a little bit better than just your typical shonen fare. Alright, now we get into the good ones. Psycho Pass is an easy W if you're trying to recommend something for older anime audiences like Mr. Gosar. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how much he knows about anime, so this right here is the perfect like starting point because it's relatively grounded as a procedural cop drama, but it has just enough pizzazz and fantasy to it that it can kind of represent what you could expect from sci-fi anime. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, I think everybody's seen Minority Report at this point, and so kind of know what this is. You know what I'm saying? And also, Psycho Pass is a little bit more grounded than something like, say, Ghost in the Shell, because that would be another good recommendation. But Ghost in the Shell kind of gets, like, philosophical at times. I've actually seen people recommend, like, Evangelion. I'm like, what? Ava? Like, really? Like, do you know how philosophical that gets? Like, maybe if the person is already kind of philosophical, but this right here is like sci-fi anime, but it's grounded enough that an older person would get it and they wouldn't get lost in the sauce. Speaking of sauce, Samurai Champloo. Okay, look. All right, I know the last time you heard rap music, you kind of reacted like this.
No! Oh! Whoa! What the hell you trying to do to me, boy? You trying to kill me with that hippity-hoppity jungle noise? God damn it!
But hear me out though, okay? Samurai Champloo is another samurai story, thus samurai in the title. But it kind of combines, again, like grounded storytelling with the craziness of anime. It's grounded in the way that, you know, it takes place back in the past. There's no magical powers. There's no, like, super sentai. None of that. Just people fighting with swords. But it's just enough weirdness that it can hook you as an anime. And I think this would actually kind of work for older audiences. Not to mention the blending of, I mean, how can you not recommend the blending of, like, old school Japanese culture with, like, that vague kind of hip hop? How can you not recommend that to somebody? Bastard is kind of like the Republicans anime at this point. This anime does not give a crap, okay? It does not give a damn about what you think. And it's actually pretty interesting for that. You know what I'm saying? And with everything kind of like society kind of being in this weird like left-wing prude state where everything is very safe, very sanitized, and very inoffensive, something like Bastard would be perfect for a Republican. I'm gonna be honest. Alright? This show has like the freaking uber masculine main characters, damsels in distress. It has all types of weird, like, you know, all types of like sexy time related stuff, fight scenes, violence. It's got the whole titty kabang out here. Alright? And of course this might be a little bit much for an older person. This might be something that they might not want to watch. But I'm gonna be honest though, as a Republican, you know, deep down in your conservative heart, you like that shit. You know you do. Shigeru E Death Frenzy. Alright, this is the third samurai show on this list. And I just realized that from reading the list. This is like the third samurai show. But hey, it is what it is though. I mean, samurai is like one of the stories, like the oldest type of stories in anime that I can see that would cross over with an older audience. Because you'd be surprised how many older people have actually remember old school karate movies or old school samurai movies. So, of course, samurai anime would work, especially if they're relatively grounded. Shigeru E is not exactly one of those. Shigeru E is not grounded at all. I mean, the fighting style and the fights are grounded because they're very realistic. Like, one strike and you could die type of realism. But that's kind of where the groundedness ends. Like, of course, it follows the story of a young man who is training in a dojo to learn this specific type of kenjutsu. And, of course, the master of this kenjutsu is completely insane. He is gone, all right? And he has moments of lucidity where he is lucid and normal. And then there are moments where he's just gone straight Gollum on like a fish. And this show is pretty graphic with sex and the violence. I believe a guy rips his own balls off in this show at one point. But, and yeah, why would I recommend this for an old person? I'm going to get back to you on that. Of course, Attack on Titan. All right, come on now. I mean, Attack on Titan is the whole reason why this list exists. Paul Gosar made an Attack on Titan meme that pissed off a lot of people on the left, and I guess kind of rightfully so, because it does show him and some other Republicans killing some Democrats that are, you know, got their heads superimposed onto Titans. Particularly, the funniest part is like when he runs up, like he's Aaron, so he runs up to like Joe Biden's colossal Titan, and Joe is just looking. He's just looking. He's got the 1,000-yard stare. He's just like, he's just doing this Joe Biden thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's hilarious. Okay, it's inappropriate for a congressman to do, but it's hilarious at the same time. And I think he would like Attack on Titan. Now, of course, Attack on Titan does go into a lot of different socio-political themes. It goes into racism. It goes into the power of the government, like government having too much power. It goes into coups. You know, right-wingers kind of know about coups. You know what I'm saying? There's at least one or two political coups in this show. You know what I'm saying? It haves versus the have-nots. There's a lot of socio-political themes here that I think an older person could understand. Now, if he's going to like them, that's another story. But I would definitely recommend to try Attack on Titan. Hello? What you mean? How do you know? I haven't even recorded. I'm recording the video now. I haven't even released it yet. So what you mean I gotta do one for a left-wing person? Oh, I'm not even choosing a side with this. He just did the oh, okay, mama. All right, I'll do one. All right. Okay. All right, so I gotta choose a left-winger. Let's try a younger person this time. I think I know who we're gonna do next. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real and stay tuned for the next anime recommendations video.
I fill you up, drink from my cup. Within me lies what you really want. Come